Okay, I've always loved the letters that are on the old Airstream trailers, so I want to make some of my own. I'm going to use some scrap foam core, piece of carbon paper, so that I can transfer this. And I'm just going to start with the letter I, because I don't know what I'm doing. Just lay that on there and trace it. And of course, it's not going to say Airstream. It will say Calamita, which is our name for the camper. Depending on how you spell it, in Italian, it can either mean the calamity or the magnet. We feel like it's starting off as our calamity, but we hope that it is a magnet on a compass that leads us to our true north. And we were drawn to it in spite of its devastation. I'm going to score this and break it off so I don't have to. So, yeah, I've got that all set up. And then I'm going to fill in the edges with clay, because what I'm going to do is make a mold of these foam core letters and then cast this in a smooth on 320 or 325, which is a urethane plastic, so that it'll hold up well on the outside of our camper. And the reason I'm filling in the sides with clay is because the porous foam can make demolding these particularly difficult. The smoother the edges, the better the casting, the better the mold. And then we want an outer lip, like you see on molded letters a lot of times. So I'm just using a little hot glue. And if I need to straighten my edges, I can come back through with my blade while it's still hot. And that helps me to make a nice smooth edge, especially if your hands are a little bit shaky, like mine seem to be today. And be careful not to touch the hot glue, because boy, it hurts. I am almost ready to, once that cools, take a little hot glue, stick it down into here, and then we're going to pour a silicone mold over this. And the silicone mold will be removed, then we'll do the casting of the letters. Go ahead. All right, it's had over almost 24 hours to set up. It doesn't feel sticky anymore. Let's see. The foam core wants to tear. But that's okay, because we won't need those letters after we're done here, right?
Yep, we'll be making new ones.
Exactly. Some stayed, and some went. I might have to get in with a X-Acto on some of these.
And just trim up the flashing.
Exactly. No air bubbles. Ta-da! All right. And then once I clean off the flashing, it'll have a nice straight.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Good
Yeah?
job.
Thank you. Okay, so I've got my molds, and I have got some smooth casts, 325, and I am going to start casting some letters. It's a two-part. It is by volume, which makes it really, really easy.
I do 2 and 2, do 4 ounces total.
Okay.
And see how far you get.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. 2 and 2. Okay, so these have set up for a little while. I'm going to need to trim off some of this excess, but look at that. And we got, hooray. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to have to do another L. We've almost got our Lake Calamita. How cool is that? All right, I finished 2 La Calamitas to go on the trailer. And anytime I had access, I poured a couple of extra letters, tie time. I might change that to tea time and pour an extra A possibly. But there we go, letters for the camper.
You took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait, I can take the pain. I will surrender, let me go on a new adventure.
So I've got my letters finished painting. Our Airstream-esque letters that are going to go on the front and the back of the camper. La Calamita has officially got her name. I'm also doing a few more letters that say, I'm calm. If you've known about our adventure on this camper, you would understand the tongue-in-cheek. If you've enjoyed following along on our journey, the planned stops and the unexpected detours, we'd love for you to join us for our further explorations. Hit that subscribe button below and become part of the When Nerds Learn to Fly crew. We've got more adventures in store and we can't wait to share them with you. Thanks for exploring with us. Until next time.